Hi guys, it's the Fibromyalgia Warrior here. You'll see, hopefully, I've just recently finished a video just explaining to you like my story part 6, because I have a lot of ailments, which is talking about hypothyroidism and my underfunctioning thyroid, and how it's it's kind of like a chicken and egg thing. I don't know if my underactive thyroid is what set off my cortisol and digestive and everything else, metabolic issues, or if those issues plus my medication and my stress is what caused my underactive thyroid. I don't know for sure. It took me 3 years for somebody to finally say, yes, in fact, your thyroid is not functioning properly. Okay. So, there's that. But this is kind of about how I kind of approached things. Okay. Because yes, I do take a lot of different medications for a lot of different reasons. And at this point, I'm not willing to just suddenly stop taking them or even weaning myself off. If that's something I want to discuss with my GP next year when COVID is finally gone and I can actually get an appointment face to face to talk about maybe I don't need such a high level of antidepressants anymore. Maybe I can try managing my fibromyalgia pain with a reduction in the gabapentin I'm taking. Maybe I'll be able to reduce the amount of, cocodamol. For those who aren't from the UK or don't know what that is, it's equivalent to codeine with, say, Tylenol. Okay, and that's for my back pain. Maybe I can reduce how much of that I need. I'm not sure. Don't know how to start, where to start, or any of that, but that won't be today. So I also don't know if I need to stay on my microdose of, I'm on 50 micrograms of levothyroxine, okay, for my underfunctioning thyroid. However, I eat clean, I eat healthy and better, and because I've lost over 50 pounds, and my inflammation is way down, and I know the foods to eat and the foods to avoid, maybe I don't have to stay on it forever. I don't know. Or maybe it's for the best. I also don't know. But I just wanted to talk to more so to you guys who have fibromyalgia and any of the other ailments maybe that I have or ones I don't have. I also deal with IBS. I've got Raynaud's. I've got arthritis. Of course, fibromyalgia. And I'm on statins for my cholesterol. And I also am on levothyroxine for my thyroid. So I've got thyroid issues as well. So musculoskeletal chronic pain and everything else. Okay. So basically what I wanted to show you guys, first of all, okay, is a picture that I took, a comparison I made. So on the left-hand side is a picture of me from March the 19th and what I look like, that I took the picture yesterday. This picture of me on the left was taken at Easter of 2020. And of course, another one of me from yesterday. And then this picture here, the one on the left was me in May, early May of this year. And then another pose from yesterday. I just did a whole bunch of photos at once. Now, this is my electric power chair. Okay. I can't walk for very long and certainly not for much of a distance. So if I want to go anywhere, if I have errands to run into town, then that's my mode of transportation. Okay. And I'm showing you that because I want you guys to realize that I'm not just saying, oh yeah, you can lose weight and do all this. Yeah, but I can't work out. I'm disabled. I can't exercise properly. Me neither. I can't either. So what I did, okay, so when I found out in March that I definitely had an underactive thyroid, I started researching on my own, trying to find out what things I had to avoid. And as soon as the specialist said, right, well, no more than 2 helpings of fruit a day, and definitely cut out, sugars, any sweets, any cakes and cookies, anything processed carbs, and gluten is probably a good one too. And I thought, great, well, I already know I have to cut those out. But I didn't cut them out completely, right? I would still have toast with peanut butter and jam on it. I was still eating a few apples a day. And I just figured, you know what? Forget it. I'm going to be easily, so Easter came and went. And by May, I was so uncomfortable. I was at least 50 pounds overweight. Okay, I'm only 5'5". And I was about somewhere around 173 or 175 pounds at that point. And I was in so much pain, and the food was causing me so much inflammation and so many gut issues. And I couldn't stop with, a chocolate bar here and there. We were, just coming through lockdown. It was a whole F it kind of attitude. I didn't care. Yeah, I was going to have takeaways and kebabs, and yeah, let's get waffles and ice cream and things I knew I shouldn't eat, but I didn't care until I did care. And I could see how bloated and puffy and swollen and overweight I was. And it was just misery. I just felt horrible. And my husband told me about a book his sister had been reading to help with her Hashimoto's. It was a paleo diet approach, and it helped her lose weight. So I bought it for my Kindle and I started to read it. And he said, yeah, you know what? I'll do it with you. And what I came to realize was, for me, the first things we had to eliminate was dairy, soy, gluten, and sugar. And we did that for the first 2 weeks. That's what we cut out. Okay. And there was a lot of hidden gluten and a lot of things, but we were, she was recommending all these dark green vegetables and all these leafy this and leafy that. And the thing is, as much as I do love vegetables, some of them, there are some I've always had problems with. And that's because I deal with IBS. So all the kale and all the spinach and all the avocado has always caused me problems. Same with broccoli and onions. I can't do garlic. And I just thought, well, what's the next part of this protocol? Well, in her book, she talks about if that's not helping you at all, then you should start eliminating some more high trigger foods. And, we had swapped from dairy to almond milk, thinking, oh yeah, we're doing the right thing. Realizing later, it was a worst possible thing. The worst possible thing. My inflammation was even worse. The only things I seemed to be able to eat okay were eggs. And at the time, I thought, I'm not getting enough protein. Right, let's get some some yellow pea protein powder. And because I thought it should be fine for IBS. And I would make shakes and smoothies out of it. Lots of frozen fruit and bananas. And I was still feeling so bloated and so puffy and so sick. And I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure out why. And at this point, we were 3 or almost 4 weeks in, and my husband was starting to lose some weight. And I lost maybe 3 pounds in 4 weeks. And I felt awful. Like it wasn't helping. I just felt completely, completely backed up because I was still eating things like potatoes, sweet potatoes, carrots. I was eating root vegetables, and I was still eating cucumbers and tomatoes and salads and all this kind of stuff. Not realizing for me, That was the biggest problem. And a friend of ours was doing this 1 meal a day thing to lose weight during lockdown. And I thought, oh, okay, let me see what I can do to lose weight through my diet, since I can't exercise. I can't work out like other people. And honestly, the thing I came across was the ketogenic diet. High fat, medium protein, and low carbs. And I thought, why not? Let me give this a try. And to be honest, I was shocked at how much I liked it. The drastic change from paleo, with all the nuts and all the seeds and all the greens that I couldn't tolerate, but I thought I was supposed to be eating still, that somehow it would get better, or making me feel even worse. And I realized those things that I'd always known could trigger my IBS, I had to start cutting out. And it was amazing the amount of inflammation that was reduced as soon as I got rid of all starches and all carbs. Didn't matter if they were processed, if they were natural, if they were simple or complex, they were gone. They were gone. All of it. Plus, I was losing a taste for it. So I cut out all vegetables and all fruit. So no grains, no cereals, no seeds, no pulses, no legumes, no nuts or nut butter, no gluten, no sugar, no soy. I could have a little bit of semi-skim milk in my coffee, which I didn't have a lot of. I was switching to decaf. And all of a sudden, my body was happy, and it was letting go of all the water weight, everything. And the amazing thing was, when I started to eat things like eggs and bacon, beef, some steak here and there, I was eating a bit of chicken, but I quickly lost my taste for it, only because I think it wasn't fatty enough for me. Didn't have enough fat in it. It was too lean. But on my birthday, which is August 29th, this was the first year ever I did not want a dessert on my birthday. I had a nice cappuccino with no sugar or sweetener, and it was great. That's all I wanted. And I had a really beautiful sirloin steak for my birthday dinner. And it was amazing, and it was filling, and I couldn't believe how much better I felt. So, I realized as I was eating less, I was tracking at the beginning my macros. So I think it was with my Fitness Pal, and I just used it to work out how much fat was I having, was I getting enough fat and protein and carbs. And the thing is that this tracker was trying to get me to eat between 2,000 and 3,000 calories a day, which is way too much for me. I couldn't do it. I could not digest that volume of fat and protein. But I realized as I went to carnivore that, first of all, I didn't want to get into disordered eating, and the tracking for me became an obsessive thing, until I realized if I eat, now that I'm learning what it feels like to feel full and satiated, that's when I stop. And unless I'm super actually hungry, I just don't eat. And it took me a while to get there, but the freedom was amazing. I started following different YouTubers, learning about what they would call the carnivore diet. Mine is just strictly an animal-based diet, or a meat-based diet. And all that means is I only eat products from the animal kingdom. So, hey guys, sorry about that. My wonderful husband just got home with all the shopping and the groceries, and so I had to move to a different location. I'm just sitting on my electric wheelchair here in the garage, just about to get some dry clothes out of the tumble dryer. Anyways, so yeah, what I basically have done is I've had to eliminate everything I could possibly have a sensitivity or an intolerance to, or that would trigger my IBS or whatever. And what that's left me with is what a lot of people would call the carnivore diet. Now, I'm not super strict. Like, I don't just eat steaks and drink water and have a bit of salt on my steak. That's not me. I'm a firm believer in eating anything from the animal kingdom. So for me, that is, for example, that is ground beef, or as we call it over here, minced beef, beef mince, either way. That is either 15 or 20% fat, because if it's too lean, then it's a lot of protein. I need more fat to it. So steaks are expensive. So definitely find the meat that you really love, that you enjoy, and that you can afford, and start from there, you know? So I do a lot of beef mince. I do a lot of free-range eggs. The ones that we can get in the grocery store, actually, here, we go to Aldi, and their free-range eggs are really good. And you can tell how good the eggs are. The more yellow, like the darker the yellow the yolk is, the better. So if you have yolks that like come apart easily, like, you know, when you go to cook them up, or they're really sort of a pale yellow, then they're not really free range. So the eggs, the chickens were not raised in as healthy a way as possible. It may not make any difference to you, but if you're super sensitive to stuff like I am, then you want to make sure you're getting something that's got a nice dark, rich yellow yolk. So ground beef, 15% fat, usually. Sometimes it's 20%, depending on what's available at the grocery store. A lot of streaky bacon, and eggs. But for some people, if you can tolerate it, dairy, because it's a product of a cow. I can have a little bit of milk with my tea or coffee, and I can have a bit of butter. And the butter we get is always, it's organic, so it's from pasture raised, grass finished dairy cows, so you know that it's not full of a whole bunch of other chemicals and things like that. For those of you who like fish or seafood, that is also considered to be a carnivore. I think should be a carnivore diet because it's animal, it's not a plant. I personally hate fish. It absolutely makes me want to be sick. And I don't really have a craving for seafood very often. And to be fair, it can be quite expensive. So if you like fish, you know, for the omega-3s and all that kind of thing, fantastic. If not, you know, you may have to supplement, or get it from another source. So any animal, whether it's chicken or pork, whether it's beef, lamb, I don't know, venison, for example, anything that's not plant-based, that's what I'll eat. My favorite things are ground beef, eggs, bacon, with a bit of salt. I also love lamb doner meat. And actually there's a kebab shop, I think most of them do it, but there's one down on our high street where you can buy just the lamb doner meat, and it's awesome. And it's filling, and because it's lamb, it's kind of a fattier meat anyway, so you're getting a good fat protein ratio. But again, this is just what I do. You kind of have to experiment for yourself. But it helped me. Like I said, the more meat I was eating, especially with the higher fat, because fat is more satiating. It's denser calorically than protein or carbs. So if you want any advice, my advice would be this: cut out all carbs and all starches, full stop. Whether they are processed, whether they are naturally grown, just completely stop them. But at the same time, you don't necessarily have to increase your protein, but you probably want to increase your fats and make sure they're healthy fats, you know. Butter, bacon grease, beef fat, which is tallow, I believe, ghee, and they say, some people say avocado and coconut oil is acceptable, but that's more from a keto point than a carnivore point. What I would suggest is, there are 3 ladies that I avidly follow and love what they put out there on YouTube, and I'll put their handles down below in the description box. But if you want more details on maybe how you can get started and so forth, you should check out Nutrition with Judy, Carnivore Yogi, and Stephanie Keto Person. They're great resources, and yeah, they've helped me lots as well. So anyways, guys, I hope this was helpful. If not for you, then maybe somebody you know who's struggling with this stuff. And I really hope that, you know, it can give you some support. Like I said, I am physically disabled now. And that may never change. And I accept that. I accepted that a long time ago. However, you can, if you remove the inflammatory foods and eat the things your body wants and that will nourish it, especially if it's from the animal kingdom, you can lose that weight, yes, but more importantly, you can actually like dramatically reduce your inflammation, and it will also dramatically help with your gut issues, your digestive problems, metabolism, your overall mood, because all those things are linked to some degree through your gut. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully, if you like this and you stuck through, you'll give it a thumbs up. And I hope that you'll join the group, and there'll be even more of us, and we can, you know, I can share whatever I'm learning with you guys, and hopefully you can either learn from it or even pass it on to somebody else who could use the information. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.